22, 22. Hike, hike, hike.
You are watching Sports and Sorts live on YouTube. That's 75% sports, 25% sorts. And here are your hosts, Shane and the Bry Man.
I like opening the show right at that cough. I love that part.
Gets you going.
Yeah, it gets me fired up. So fired up. Actually, I'm not fired up because we have a lot to talk about today. We're going to be talking the MLB trade dedeadline. We're going to be talking, which is like hours away, isn't it? The trade deadline? Yeah.
Today. Yep.
We have that. We have some NBA, the NFL news, a little bit of NBA playoffs. We're not going to get into too much with the NBA playoffs just because they still have a ways to go. And we're going to talk, Brian has the Bill and Ted. He's going to review that for you. I have not watched that yet. I've heard decent things, it seems.
It's sitting at 80 on Rotten Tomatoes and 81 for the audience, so it's very consistent.
So yeah, I've heard decent things, which is good because there's been other movies that have come out that had some high expectations, like New Mutants. Some people were really amped to see that, and it did not fare well from a couple of the critics that I follow. But they were basically like it was okay. And like it wasn't. They don't know why there was so much. They don't know why it took so long to get this movie into theaters, and why it was such a kind of like they should have just put it out 2 years ago when they wanted to, or 3 years ago when this whole thing came out. But whatever. That was the overall consensus about that movie. But overall, we're going to be talking about all that. We got the Karen of the week, but we wanted to start the show off kind of on a crappy note. Really sad. Couple of important people died this weekend, or I think one of them was John Thompson last night.
I think this morning.
Yeah. We have two people in the Black community that were very, very well regarded. They really moved the Black community forward. And it is really sad to say that Chadwick Boseman and John Thompson both have passed away. This past weekend, Chadwick Boseman died with a 4-year battle of colon cancer, which I had no idea that was even going on. He had filmed movies through treatments and everything like that, and you would never know with his personality. And he just was always just basically completely and 100% there for his job and what he did for a living and helping the Black community move forward. With important movies, like obviously he did 42 and he did James Brown. He did some iconic roles there, which keeps him in the kind of sports.
Black Panther, of course,
Black Panther is the one that really. And I have been on record many times saying that it's not my favorite Marvel movie. I thought it was okay to good, but I can't dispute what it meant for the Black community. Having that film being largely, basically everyone in the movie almost is Black, and that is unheard of, especially in a tentpole film like that. And Marvel's been very good about kind of giving other races and other genders their shine. They did that in Endgame, where the women had they had their moment in that. And I think you'll probably see something more like that maybe going forward too. I think you might see an all-woman cast going forward. I'm not sure if there'll be those women, but it'll be something like that. Yeah. And you'll also have obviously the Black Panther with the all Black cast. There was obviously not all, but largely Black cast, and that was unheard of in those kind of films. And it's they've always had the Dope, and they have movies like the NWA movie that they came out with and stuff like that. But those are typical, Boys in the Hood and all that stuff where you have a largely Black cast, but it's not in the same limelight as Black Panther because it's such a huge blockbuster film and it reaches so many people and it makes young kids, Black and white, really kind of want to be a Black Panther, be like that, have a role model like that to look up to. And it's great that they did that. And it's great that he did it. And he did such an amazing. That's one thing I definitely can't dispute.
Yeah. Yeah.
How good he played that role.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard for you to really argue on his acting ability because he was so good, so talented.
Yeah.
And it is sad that he is left us at 43 years old, which is
Yeah.
absolutely absurd because you're 43, I'm 42. You just got a colonoscopy.
43, just had a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
If I had gotten that news a week ago or a week and a half ago, I would have really been shitting bricks.
Yes.
No pun intended.
Right.
I mean, I would have really lost my mind. I would have been running up to my wife and saying, see, I'm done. It's over.
Yeah.
I would have.
If it can get Black Panther, it's.
And I did. Luckily, I did have a colonoscopy and everything came back clean and I'm okay. But, actually, it's kind of funny. Before I actually wanted to mention this because I know that the age in which insurance companies will allow colonoscopies is 50. That's where they encourage you as a male to get a colonoscopy.
Mm-hmm.
I really think they need to move that up. I really do. I think they should move that up to 40. I honestly do. And not even you don't even have to have a history of it in the family.
It's not supposed to be something that really affects you. You're supposed to get it later in life. Like that's one of those things, but obviously it can happen.
I mean, come on. I mean, he'd been battling it for 4 years, which means he was diagnosed with it at age 39, possibly age 38.
Yeah.
So why not make it 40? I mean, I honestly don't even, honestly, in the medical profession, there's actually more money for you in it. More people then you're moving up timelines. Mm-hmm. We know that medicine is unfortunately a business as much as it is about saving lives and helping people to get to a better place physically and mentally. It's also a business. Mm-hmm. And like any other business, if you move up timelines on things like that, you actually could make more money. I hate to even think of it that way, but let's be honest. That's kind of the truth. For all that aside, this one hit me hard, and my youngest daughter too. Mm-hmm. We were both downstairs because I think it was Friday night or Saturday night, but we were both downstairs. We were watching TV, and I saw it come across my phone, and I really was like, first of all, just total shock because, again, to your point, I had no idea he was even battling this.
Right.
And she kind of ran over to me, and she's like, "Did you hear?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did." And she hugged me, and I started crying, of course, because that's what I do. But this one hit me hard for a couple of reasons. One, I am 43. Two, I did just have a colonoscopy, so mm-hmm. I was really freaked out. But then beyond that, most importantly, we just lost not just a great actor, but a really, as you said,
an ambassador,
a really influential human being, especially for African Americans, especially for Black people. I mean, and the roles that he played as a Black man weren't just these, kind of, in some cases, yes, Black Panther, a fictional character, but the roles that he played are so integral in the advancement of the Black community. First and foremost, Jackie Robinson. The man who broke the color barrier.
Yep.
Okay. So possibly the most important figure in sports history. Maybe not the greatest player, but
he's pretty darn skilled though.
But an extremely great baseball player. But maybe the most important athlete in history. Really, you could make that argument. I'm not asking you who the greatest is. I'll say that's Ali or Jordan. Mm-hmm. But the guy who maybe had the single most important, historical, at least from a historical perspective as an athlete, you could really easily argue Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
And Chadwick Boseman played him beautifully, and I loved that movie. I really did. I thought that was actually an underrated movie. I think Harrison Ford's depiction of Branch Rickey was really good. And that movie, I think, was pretty brutally honest too. I mean, if you watch it, there was, it was tough. There's obviously a lot of portions of that movie that are tough to watch. You mentioned James Brown again, another really important figure in African-American history. And listen, as fictional as it may be, comic book, whatever, Black Panther, King T'Challa is, I mean, just at this point, and I really believe an iconic movie role. Really do. The movie, and I actually just watched it again last night. I finally was actually able to work myself up to watching it again because I wanted to watch it the night I heard, and I was like, I can't because I'll just be a mess. Yeah. So, and then I didn't watch it last night, so I was like, all right. And then I did watch it last night. I was like, all right, I think I can get through it. And there's some really iconic moments in that movie, and it just made me sad. And one of the, and I love, how much I love Endgame.
Yeah. And
he had one of the most seminal moments in that movie because they're, right at the end there in the battle at the, before, right when they're fighting Thanos is kicking the crap out of them. And, Cap gets up and, he hears, Falcon on your left. And the first people to walk through the circle was Black Panther. And that's just such and I remember being in the theater and everybody going nuts, Black Panther's the first one to walk through.
Just saying that, I got
I know
huge chills.
Oh, I got it. Yeah. I mean, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that role. And, just that look that Cap had on his face, oh, thank God. Help is here and there's hope again, And so to lose Chadwick Boseman at this age, what he did, at only 43, it's tough. I was watching, they were playing this really great Jimmy Fallon clip, which you may have seen. It was all over social media over the weekend, where after Black Panther came out, they had this weird kind of thing set up where they had people it's in this room and there's red curtains, and the only thing that's hanging on the wall is this poster, a Black Panther movie poster.
Yeah.
And you have all these black people going up to the poster and kind of saying what him playing this role meant to them. And then all of a sudden he comes out from behind one of the curtains while they're all making comments and different, they're offering their thoughts and their speeches and stuff like that. And he comes out and just the look on all of their faces is just awesome. You should watch that. It's a really great, 6 to 10 minute clip.
If you find it, send it to me. So I don't
just pure joy, and you tell he just brought out not just the best, he just brought out great in people. And, I've always never loved the Billy Joel line, only the good die young, but boy, I will tell you that this loss lends some credence to that statement because there was never anything but great to say about him. And I rest in peace, King. I mean, you want to talk about a guy who will really be missed, but whose legacy is, even at 43, so solid. It's Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah. We also unfortunately lost another man named John Thompson, who was the head coach of Georgetown when I became a Georgetown fan. Alonzo Mourning on that team, Dikembe Mutombo, all these great, Allen Iverson. I got to watch all these kind of Hall of Fame players start in college, and they were tremendous in college, and they were tremendous in the pros, and even players like Othello Harrington and things like that. There were a lot of players that I really enjoyed watching, and he was one of those coaches that just had a presence about him, not only a presence that, because he was so tall and big,
iconic too, with the towel over the shoulder.
He was just, he looked like the kind of coach that could just give you a look and you would be like, oh crap, I
Yeah.
need to get my crap together. Like,
Yep.
and that's what I loved. I love coaches that could just kind of, just with their presence, let you know that they're either disappointed or happy with you. And that is something that he could do so well. And that was, his teams, whether you said they underperformed or overperformed, his teams were always in the hunt for a long time. He was great at recruiting, and his program, ever since he left, was never really the same. They got good. Yes, Patrick Ewing was there, but that was before my time watching them. That was Clint's here. So that was really before my time. Like I was just before my time. But yeah, and there was so many great players that I got to watch when he was the head coach, and it is so unfortunate. I mean, yeah, he got to live a very long life. 84, I think he died.
78. No, 78.
78.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was close to 80 years old. That's a good life. I wouldn't say it's super long, but he's a really big guy. So his body was probably taking a beating just from being such a big dude.
Yeah.
And I think is his son still coaching Georgetown? Because I haven't followed college sports in probably a dozen years.
I think he is.
Yeah, and that's a great legacy to keep going on as well.
Yeah.
He's a coach that I would love to see coach in the pros. I would have loved to see him.
Yeah, I think he would have probably been a good. I think he would have been a good coach in the
with
pros.
that kind of pedigree, and then on top of that, just having that presence.
Yeah, and just to give you a little of the tail of the tape on him too. So he led the Hoyas to 3 Final Fours. He won a national championship in 1984. He won 7 Big East titles. He coached 4 Hall of Famers, including, you mentioned some of them, Ewing, Alonzo, Iverson, and Dikembe Mutombo. So a lot of, when I say, 4 Hall of Famers. A guy who was just an unbelievable iconic presence in the 80s as a coach. He really was. I mean, that Georgetown team was a juggernaut. They were a juggernaut in the 80s. I mean, that's it. That's the only word to describe that team. They were a juggernaut. If they weren't the team of the 80s, they're certainly in the discussion. I mean, 3 Final Fours and the national championship, all those Big East titles. I mean, before UConn owned the Big East, it was Georgetown. It was Georgetown in the 80s and UConn in the 90s. And, I shouldn't say that. I mean, UConn for part in the 90s and then UConn in the 2000s, really, especially. But yeah, I mean, and I even have just a quote here from Patrick Ewing. This is a person that when I came to college, I was 18, helped me to grow. Even though my mom and dad were always there, he was always a person I could pick up the phone and call if I had a problem or if I had a question. I mean, that's the kind of guy that John Thompson was. And again, another man, this has been a really, really fucking rough year. I mean, it's just been bad. Like, this year cannot go away soon enough. It really can't.
We always have. I mean, this is something you hear on the show, year after year, is that because there's always iconic people that die. Yeah, and it is unfortunately and untimely, and it always seems like it's untimely. But this year, you couple all that with the coronavirus, because that's when I saw the headline like Chadwick Boseman died. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, did coronavirus get him? That's the first thing that got into my mind, because I had never heard anything bad.
Yeah.
And then when you see colon cancer, you're like, holy cow, what?
Right,
4 years? What?
Never knew he was battling it. Never knew. Not a clue that this was going on. I mean, and again, that speaks to his grace as a person too. The fact that it was not public. He kept it quiet, and you wonder how many people really did know. Yeah. I mean,
it's crazy.
Awful,
absolutely crazy.
Awful weekend in that sense.
Seriously, yeah. So that will, rip prayers, thoughts and prayers go out to both of their families. It's an incredibly tough time, especially for Chadwick Boseman's family, because just because of his age. That is a brutal thing. but he will forever live on in our hearts and in cinema with those roles that he played.
And what's sad is that he really does seem to be the kind of hero that he portrays. You know,
seems like a really genuinely good dude.
Right.
Yeah. It sucks. All right. Well,
let's talk about something.
Let's move on. Yeah, let's move on to some stuff that's a little more uplifting. We're going to get into we'll get into some NBA, NFL, and stuff like that a little bit later. Brian's going to talk about Bill and Ted, Face the Music, and he's going to give you a Karen of the Week as well. Got a good one. We had two, but he chose one just due to the less profane stuff that was going on. So we will get into. Let's get into Yankees comeback because we can get on that quick. The Yankees had a big comeback yesterday. They were down 7-2 and came back and won. And
with 2 outs, they were down 5 runs with 2 outs.
Yeah, and and Aaron Hicks got us one, and and then in the second game we had the Kraken attack. Was that the second? Yeah, was that the second
game? Yeah, he hit the grand slam.
Yeah. Yep. So we had all sorts of good stuff going on, and it was thankfully the bats woke up a little bit.
They salvaged a weekend where I thought they were maybe going to get swept 5 games, and they actually ended up winning 3 of 5.
And I will tell you a couple of things because I don't really want to talk about this too much. I love the fact that David Garcia came in and pitched like a boss,
I mean, unbelievable, right?
Yes, and that's the kind of guy that I had watched him many clips over the course last year. And watched him pitch in the minors, and he didn't pitch great. Like a 4 ERA.
Not
or something
in AAA, he didn't. In AA, he was good.
Right.
AAA, not
I never
impressive.
saw him pitch in AAA. I saw him pitch AA. That's where I got all the clips from. And
AAA, he kind of got, I don't want to say lit up, but he got hit.
Yeah, and he, last year he had like a 4 ERA, I think, with everything, and he's a guy that looks like he can hit his spots, and if he is hitting his spots, he's going to be hard to hit because his ball moves. He's got a great curveball. Yeah. That thing breaks off a table. And, he's pumping in there 94, 95. That's solid. And it seems like it's an easy 94, 95, and he can rear back and get a little bit more if he needs it. And his demeanor on the mound is good. Yeah. I love everything I saw from him, and I hope he stays in there. And it might be time to say, bye, J.A. Happ. Get the heck out of here.
Although Happ really did pitch well the other day.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. He's not going to be as consistent, and that's what you need. You need consistency.
Oh, I know.
I mean, if you want to keep him in there, it's fine, but you got to find a way to get Davey.
Well, he's not going to get a lot of starts because the Yankees are purposely going to avoid that so that his option doesn't get picked up. Which
stinks.
They don't want to be on the hook for that $17 million.
It's going to be tough though after that outing for them to not be like.
He still won't come close. Garcia, at this point, the only way he should leave the rotation is if he pitches his way out of it. So, at this point, you've earned another start, and I think you just keep going from there. I heard Michael. I don't know if it was Michael K. Somebody said that I guess, Davy Garcia had drawn comparisons to Pedro, and I mean. Yeah. I will actually say I usually don't like hearing that stuff, especially like the guy's first start. Mm-hmm. But there were a lot of things
that's been going on. It's been said for a while, though.
I will tell you, though, physically speaking, absolutely. His makeup, absolutely. Even his style, his
Pedro through high 90s, though. Pedro through like 98, 99. Yeah, totally different. Pedro, when he was young. Talk about the stuff that he had.
Unreal. Pedro
and he was the type of guy you were actually scared to step in the box. Even when he was throwing 94, 95 later in his career, you were still, because he didn't care. He would come in and he would hit you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, ask Kareem Garcia. Ask any of the Yankees, really, in the late 90s.
Took a bunch off the hands.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
So did Soriano.
Yep. And listen, I've never liked Pedro. I've always thought he was a scumbag, but you know what? The guy was great as far as pitchers go in our era of watching baseball. One of the best I've ever seen. Him and Greg Maddux are just two of the best pitchers I've ever seen.
RJ.
Yeah,
Randy
just
Johnson.
But you know what? And again, I don't usually like that kind of praise, but I will tell you that I understand drawing that comparison Just look and feel of him.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it. And again, let's
develops those legs, get a little bit stronger, gets a little bit stronger in the upper body, just a little bit, not a lot.
And Pedro
get up
did
there
that too,
95,
because when
96.
Pedro first started with Montreal, he was just a skinny kid.
He was skinny, but he had
with
such
those
torque.
he had the soul glow curls and everything.
He had such
and then,
torque, man, on that body
he did,
though.
He did,
oh,
and then
that change
he put a little bit of weight on, not a lot, but a little bit of weight on, and I think that really helped him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you'll probably
he didn't have to be as torquey.
Yes.
Like he could really focus in on accuracy at that point in time, and he became an absolute marksman.
Yes, and he was again one of the best pitchers I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And
unfortunately,
he was. Yeah, no.
He played for the Red Sox for a long time.
The
Yankees got him though.
He tormented the Yankees, but the Yankees got to him a bit too.
They were his daddy.
And I got to see, the best in person, my best
Moose
memory ever.
Moose and Pedro.
No. I'm talking about, and again, he wasn't a Red Sox anymore. He was a Philly. But I was at Game 6 of the 2009 World Series.
Gotcha.
The Yankees clinched, and it was Matsui, one of my favorite all-time Yankees, who absolutely single-handedly beat him and in Philadelphia and clinched, title 27. But so I literally got to see the Yankees put the dirt on his grave, which was awesome. But he tormented the AL East for a long time. Mm-hmm. And he was listen, if Davy Garcia could be half of that, I think we would
right? My God.
I think we'd all sign up for that at this point.
Yeah, seriously.
Because but I will tell you, I like
one of the top 10 greatest pitchers of all time. Yeah, if he could be in the top 20, that'd be amazing.
This was a nice break-in though for Garcia too. I actually think, in some ways, the way this season is playing out with no fans in the stands, I think it helps a lot of some of these younger guys, especially younger pitchers. It takes a little bit of the pressure off. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's still big moments and important games, but when the fans aren't there, it's just not the same. It's just not.
Right.
So I think it's helpful for him to develop in this environment, to be honest. And then next year, you hope, if fans are back, it'll be a little like, okay, I can transition to that. I'm comfortable on this mound. I know what it means to pitch in this particular moment. So, I'm ready for it. And even though I didn't pitch in front of fans the previous year, I'm still ready for the moment because I still spent time on this mound and in other mounds throughout the league. And I've got a good feel.
Right.
So I think it'll be a helpful transition. Mm-hmm. But it's hard not to have liked what you saw out of him in that game. I mean, he did give up the one run, which was not his fault, actually. It was Luke Voigt's fault. Luke Voigt is the ultimate giveth and taketh away player. I like Luke Voigt, and if you look at his numbers, we have
a lot of those DH guys.
He's having a monster year. Yeah. Watching him run down to first base is really painful, though. I mean,
watching him play first base is painful.
It is. And again, you deal with it because the offense is there.
Right. Yeah.
You do. I mean, and actually for a little bit.
You just want him a DH. You just need him as a DH.
For a little bit of time, though.
We have so many.
It's like there was a little stretch there where it was like only him and DJ LeMahieu who were even hitting, so you tolerate it.
Which is what I wanted to get into about this whole thing.
By the way, DJ LeMahieu, can we just sign him? Can we just extend him now?
Yeah,
can we just extend him now?
This is my whole thing.
Why wait?
You know my love for DJ LeMahieu.
Yes, I do.
And, we got Aaron Judge back and everything like that. It was for like a half hour. And came back and got injured again because that's what he does. He's getting onto the Bird train here. The Greg Bird train.
He's playing his way out of a big contract.
Right. Really no, I think he has because he can't stay healthy. He's never stayed healthy. He's only played half a year.
And I think I'm sure his agent has probably already made that clear to him. Like,
yeah, you're not.
It's not going to.
You'll get a short term, but you'll get a lot of money for a short term contract. Like you'll get like 25 a year, but it's going to be like 3 years.
Yeah,
because nobody's going to trust that you can stay healthy. But if you can stay healthy for those 3 years, then you might get a 5-year, $30 million each.
Also keep in mind when he hits free agency, he will be 30.
Yeah.
So
that's why he'll only get like another 3 to 5 year contract because they're not going to sign him for 10.
I could see giving him 5 at 25. I could see that.
Yeah, maybe.
And he may have to settle for that, which,
Right.
by the way, that's not chump change.
No.
Okay, that's really great money.
Yeah.
That's take care of yours and
That's generation money, yeah.
Yeah, that's generation money. But
But it's not for the type of player he should be. But he can never stay healthy,
No.
and that's the problem. That's a problem with players like him and Stanton, is that they're so big and strong and to have no like elasticity really, which is weird because Stanton does a lot of stretching and does a lot of yoga and all that kind of stuff, and that's great and all. But there's just too many muscles. There's just too many.
Too tight. They're too tight.
There's too many.
These
I mean,
guys
but
are
you can
too tight.
even say that with Sanchez too, though, because he gets hurt for half a year every year too. But this is what I wanted to say is that this is proven with the Yankees. They went on a slump when DJ LeMahieu went on the injured list. He hurt his thumb. He went on the injured list, came back a little earlier than kind of expected originally.
Yes.
And now they're winning again.
Yeah,
and
DJ
LeMahieu is the straw that stirs the drink on this team.
Without a doubt.
100% scores runs, knocks runs in, gets base hits, gets on base, just does everything. Plays awesome defense. Everything you need to do out of a player, he does it for you. They need to sign him for at least a few more years because obviously he's not young.
No, he's
but
32.
A player like him can play till he's 35, 36.
Yes.
When he's 35 and 36, might not give you the same type of skill, but he's going to still give you solid defense.
Production will be
and
there,
he'll give you. He's not going to get 220 base hits, but he might get you like 170.
Yeah.
And still batting close to 300, like 290, 280. He's a solid player. Just sign him.
I sent a text yesterday.
And he's just such a good player.
To the Yankee chat text group there, and he had struck out on a pitch looking.
Yep.
And it was not a strike. And I sent a text to that group, and I was like, DJ LeMahieu is, I think I said something like, when DJ LeMahieu strikes out looking, it's not a strike because he doesn't. And
he doesn't even walk a ton either. He just has that good of eye, so he knows when to swing.
Right. Like it's on, like I actually say it's on the umpire. Mm-hmm. When DJ LeMahieu strikes out looking, it's a bad call by the umpire. And actually, in that case, now that was obviously a bit of an exaggeration, but in that case yesterday, it actually was. It was a pitch outside. It was not. It was not in the box. And he's just. And what he brings to the team, too, like I love his personality and say he's very quiet, very reserved guy. If you hear him in interviews, he doesn't get excited. He's, and I like both. I like all different kinds of personalities, but I love that personality. I love what he brings to this team in that sense. He's just a quiet, reserved guy who really, he carries a big stick, and he's a very low key guy, and I just love what he brings to this team. He really fits the Yankee mold very well. And if they don't bring him back, because this is the last year of it, like seriously, you got to get him extended in season. I don't even want him reaching free agency.
Right? Yeah, no.
Just get it done.
Sign him
and pay him a lot. I mean,
pay him a little more, even if you have to give him a little bit more than, because he is clearly the straw that stirs the drink.
Yes,
clearly,
without a doubt. I love having him in the leadoff spot too. Yeah. He doesn't run well, but I love having him in that spot. Yeah,
he runs smart, which is just as good as running well.
Yes, he does.
I guarantee he could steal 20 bases if he wanted to, because he's smart.
He is slow though.
He's smart though.
Yeah, I don't know if he can steal.
Dude, 20. Paul O'Neill stole like 20 bases in a year. Like he could steal 20 bases.
At least Paul O'Neill had long strides. DJ
long giraffe-like strides.
Right, he was a giraffe.
Always sliding in the base,
it's
like
so
all
funny
awkward.
Too, because when they show Paul O'Neill from his basement too, I look at him and I'm like, Jesus, this guy could still easily play.
Oh,
look at him. He's still in shape. He's still cut.
He's jacked, bro.
He's jacked. He still looks like a fucking giraffe. I mean, it
doesn't help his throat.
No. I know.
The long neck with the throat.
He's got the long neck and the giant Adam's apple.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he's long. Yeah, and his arm, he's got like lanky arms. He's just he's a giraffe.
I loved him.
God,
I love Paul O'Neill. But I tell you, man, I love LeMahieu so much. I really want them to keep him. I'll tell you, you had wanted him for a long time, and man, oh man, you hit that one on the head.
Yeah, well, that's what I do.
Yeah.
All right, so they had that great comeback this weekend, so they're back hopefully on the winning stride.
See, now the biggest let's say this is the biggest series of the year right now. You got Tampa back in the Bronx again. You need to send a message.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they're injury riddled. I know you got a ton of guys out. You still got to find a way to win.
Cole's got to step up.
Yeah, he does. He's got to be the ace that you got him to be.
Yep.
It's a huge start for him. Is that tonight? Is he starting tonight?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's got to, I mean, first of all, that's a must win game and he's got to be dominant.
Yeah.
Just has to.
Like 1-run tops and just plowing down.
Right.
Yeah.
But his problem, Garrett Cole, he is just giving up a ton of home runs.
It happens to every pitcher that comes to New York. It's a hitter's park. We just got to get that into our mind. It's a hitter's park. If you give up home runs, you're going to give up more here.
Well, and he's around the plate a lot too. Yeah. So let's be honest.
And this is what I don't understand. I don't understand why they don't get more ground ball pitchers. I don't understand that. Why they don't get more ground ball pitchers.
Right.
But
I mean, you're right. Because if you think about it, when Brian Cashman is out in free agency and he's looking for hitters and position players, he's looking for guys who can poke one over that right field wall.
Yeah.
Well, okay. If you're looking for pitchers, why not get guys who pound ground balls?
Get some lefties and get some the guys that can throw
lefties,
keep the ball on the ground.
Lefties pitching to the bigger part of the park and guys who induce ground balls. Yeah. Yes. Why would you not do that? Brian Cashman is a head. I mean, listen, he's made great moves. He's also a head scratcher sometimes now.
Hey, you signed my guy, DJ LeMahieu, so I'm happy.
He did, and that was
all right.
I mean,
let's get into the best.
Yes. That's one of the best signings of the last 10 years for this team, especially if they're able to keep him longer.
Love that guy. Love him. All right, we can get into some MLB trade content here. There's been several moves that have happened.
There's been a lot of activity, although I wouldn't say
nothing huge.
Yeah. I mean, I guess this Padres 7-player swap with the Mariners is I guess Austin Nola is
a lot of name
in the trade.
Yeah.
And then Taylor Trammell.
Who was like a top 20 prospect for a while, and now he's like top 60. He's kind of fallen off because he hasn't been doing as well as he moves up in the minors. But there's still a lot of upside there. It's just a matter if he can channel it and get into the pros. Because he's got great speed.
Austin Nola's a good player. He's clearly the centerpiece of the deal. He's a catcher, but he's a utility guy. He plays first, a little bit of second. I think he's even played.
Which is great. Not only for like that, but it's also great for fantasy stuff because you can have him as a catcher and he'll play every day.
Yeah,
which is great. As long as he turns out.
He can hit. I think he's like a 300 hitter, right?
I'm not 100% sure. I haven't followed him much. I just know that he was a big guy, big name.
306. He's hitting 306 this year.
But
5 home runs, not a lot of home runs, 19 RBI. So again, that's not really his game. But
I just know of Taylor Trammell just because of the name that he has. That that he was a top prospect for a while, but kind of fell off. I looked at it a little bit closer this morning, and I was like, oh, he's kind of fallen off a little bit. But that's going to happen. I mean, look at Cano when he was in the minors, and he was like a 270 hitter, came up and started raking. Who knows how long he was on steroids, but
Yep.
But whatever. Let's get into
the big question is Mike Clevenger going to be moved? That to me is
that would be a big deal to any team that got him because he's a good pitcher.
There's a lot of
discussing Joey Gallo.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't. I mean, he's a good on base guy. Walks a lot. Strikes out a lot.
Strikes out a ton.
Hits a lot of bombs.
He's Adam Dunn.
He's a poor man's Adam Dunn because at least Adam Dunn batted 250.
And Adam Dunn hit like almost 500 home runs.
Yeah. I don't know if he's getting there.
I don't know.
Speculation about Ace Lance Lynn. It just sounds funny.
It does.
The Ranger also floating all-star talks.
Lance Lynn will get moved.
Joey Gallo.
There's always a team that's going to take a little bit of a chance, a risk on him because they think he'll, I mean, Lance Lynn's got good stuff, but he was not a good Yankee. I think Clevenger's the most interesting thing is, did the Indians deal this guy? There's a lot of teams in on this: Padres, Braves, Blue Jays, White Sox, mystery team. It's up there. I've heard, although I have also read that the request, what they're asking for in return is just obscene. But I understand it. I mean, Clevenger can deal. Yeah. He's a big kind of. He's a very awkward at bat too. Like I would actually be nervous in the box against him. There's a lot of herky jerkiness going on. It doesn't look like a comfortable at bat. I would not mind him on the Yankees. I can tell you that, but I don't.
I don't think they're making.
To be honest with you, I don't
know if they're doing anything.
I was going to say I don't even think the Yankees are going to do anything.
I don't think they have to.
Yeah, it's weird. Like they just need everyone to be healthy. That's the problem.
Everybody's hurt. It's crazy. Like it's like one after another. Like,
yeah.
I mean, there was a period where he had like 4 of the starters on the injured list.
But what's funny is you look at the guys that they got back this weekend. DJ and Urshela, and those guys they were both
impactful.
I mean, they're both big, impactful guys. Urshela had the game-winning hit yesterday. He had the hit with the big comeback. I mean, obviously, Aaron Hicks had that 2-run home run that just eked over the wall, which he admired quite a bit, but barely got over the wall. I guess
Gary Sanchez is admiring that one. That was a.
That was an absolute moonshot.
I thought he was going to walk around the bases.
I mean, he could have. That ball was just destroyed. And it's so, like the one thing with the fans not being there is it actually, in a weird way, it's more impressive, some of these home runs, without the fans there. For one, because you really get a feel for just how deep the ball went, and two, the noise
that it
of
makes
the
when
balls
it lands,
clanging off of the bleachers, But yeah, I mean, so good. It ended up being a good weekend for them after Thursday and Friday were so abysmal. They really, they made they turned lemons into lemonade.
Who's playing good this year is Cano. Cano was playing well too. He's having a good year.
He's like in the 360s, 370s. He had one horrible, like hellacious at bat. I don't know. It might have been yesterday during one of those games. He looked fooled on 3 pitches completely. But
he had a bomb too.
Yeah, yes, he did, and he still can play.
Yeah,
he still can play, man. He's gonna be.
If the National League keeps the DH,
don't you?
It depends on what they look at the steroid stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting about that.
If they look at the steroid stuff as like a one-off, like it was just like that's it. But if he continues to put up numbers like this after, and they're still testing the way they're testing, you can't argue it. Like, he's a talented hitter. I mean, he'll be a Hall of Famer if they if they look at it as like a one-off. Like, he did it just that one year, but then he tested clean for years after, and he still put up good numbers. And the key for him was if the National League keeps the DH. If they keep the DH, he will probably get in the Hall of Fame because he'll have well over 3,000 hits.
Yes, he's at like 2,600. Yeah. He actually got his 20. That home
and he's
run
36?
was his 2,600.
Is that how old he is? 36, 37, something like that.
Yeah, he's up there.
So he has the chance.
He's probably
as long as he doesn't test positive again. He has a chance.
Yeah, I would say there's a good chance he gets to 3,000 hits.
Oh yeah,
and that's the marker. That's one of them.
I say he does as long as they keep the DH.
Yeah.
If they don't keep the DH,
I think that's a given, don't you?
If they don't keep the DH, he's not getting to 3,000 hits. I don't think he'll get there.
Well, yeah,
there's too much time.
Be as many opportunities in the American League. There's way too many DH types in the American League anyway. So, I think first of all, I do think the DH is going to stick.
I hope
and
so.
I do think if he's healthy, he'll get to 3,000. And the question will be, to your point, will steroids be overlooked? Yeah. That's hard. I don't know. I forgot. It's weird that I forgot about him being on steroids, but that's tough. That will make it tough on him. Because what is he home run wise? Like 362 or something like that?
He's got a lot.
And 2,600 hits. And again, he's a second baseman. So when you compare him, to other second basemen, he is a Hall of Famer. It's just a question of, that steroid thing will play. That will loom.
That will loom, but I do think that it could potentially go away as long as it's once. Like, people can overlook the once. It's not like in the 90s when they really just overlooked it and they were on it for years. Like, he tested clean for a long time.
I think Andy Pettitte falls into that category too.
Yeah.
And you overlook what he did. Now, Pettitte was also one of the guys too that
he's not putting up Robbins Cano type numbers though.
Who?
Pettitte. He did postseason stuff.
Postseason resume.
The postseason stuff is great. But like his regular season stuff,
250 wins though, right?
I know, but it's not 300 and 400. I mean, 3,000.
No. But the days of 300 wins are really behind us, though.
He's at 329 home runs.
329
Yeah.
and 2,600 hits.
Yeah, he's got.
I mean,
almost
yeah.
1,300 RBIs.
If not for the steroids, I would say he's a shoo-in. But
Career 303 hitter.
That's a big asterisk, though. It will be, you know, whether you agree with it or not. That's an asterisk. So
it is, but it's just that 1 year. If you can get by with that 1 year.
But you know what? By the time he's up for
and the suspensions are big now too, so they might not be like, oh well, he lost half a year and he still put up these numbers.
Let's see where we are in now. Robinson Cano is frankly probably 10 years away even from Hall of Fame consideration. So let's see where we are in a decade.
He's 37 right now. So
all right, so maybe 8. Let's call it 8 years, right? Maybe he plays 3 more.
Yeah.
Tries to get to 3,000 hits and then calls it a career. I mean, the guy's had a great career. He's made a ton of money. He won a World Series.
And he'll get to 3,000 hits.
He's got all the.
He's
going to have the numbers. Yeah. So let's see where he's at. If he's in in 8 years, let's see where the game is at too. Because
right now he's played 25 games and he's got 31 hits.
Well, he's had a great year. I think he's hit like 366 or 5. I don't know.
369.
Yeah, that's nice.
And that's 25 games. This is another year where he's going to lose half a year. Like he's at 2 years where he's got lost half a year. Yeah, that's a year lost, and he's going to still get over 3,000.
Yeah, it's not, but in some ways though, this year I think this year will allow a lot of guys because they've gotten far more rest than they have ever gotten in an off season before.
Yeah.
So maybe that allows him to extend his career a little bit, maybe another year beyond what you would think.
41 maybe.
Yeah, I'd say he plays till 40.
He needs to keep that batting average over 300 though for the career. I think that. I mean,
what's his career average?
303. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tight.
If he retired like now, and he had no steroid history, he'd be all.
Oh yeah,
he would be.
He was the best second baseman for a while.
I think we spent significantly too much time on this subject.
Yeah. So let's get into
Robinson Cano.
I like the little tangents that we get off of. Robinson Cano, Hall of Fame eligibility. Like, how did that come up?
We should move to the NFL. There's some interesting.
Go ahead.
NFL.
You can get into the NFL because I didn't follow much in the NFL over the last week, so you can get into it. I'll touch on it.
If you didn't believe the Jacksonville Jaguars were tanking a few weeks ago, believe it now, because that team. And I want to make sure because I am still because I'm like an elephant. I don't forget anything, and I really despise Steve Young for the crap that he pulled last year when he said that the Miami Dolphins were not only tanking as an organization, but they were putting their players in danger because of the way that they were going about it. Well, Steve Young, you'd better come out now. You better come out now and start pointing fingers, not just him, other guys too, the Dominique Foxworths of the world. Where are y'all now? You better be pointing some fingers at the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are clearly tanking for Trevor Lawrence. Oh my God, it could not be more obvious. First of all, so you had they traded Jalen Ramsey last year to the Rams. Okay, so he's gone. I'm not going to say getting rid of Blake Bortles is a big deal. I wouldn't consider that a tank move, but at the time that it happened,
that's an upswing.
I mean, it was because like Gardner Minshew actually I like and I enjoy watching him play.
Just like his mustache.
But now you have released Leonard Fournette and you have traded Yannick Ngakoue to the Vikings. And honestly,
Ngakoue's a beast.
And honestly, outside of Gardner Minshew, I can't really name a lot of players on the Jags. I really can't. DJ Chark is one of them, and really the only reason I know him is because he's actually I'm using him as a keeper in one of my leagues. So
he had a solid. He's a big deep.
No, he did.
Yeah.
He did have a good year. And I think maybe Dede Westbrook might be a receiver for them. I don't know. I can't name a lot of guys on the Jags at this point. That team is, if they win a game, it's an embarrassment for whichever team gives up that W, because that's a bad team. But those are the two I would say actually those were the two biggest pieces of news. This morning, Leonard Fournette gets released, and then Yannick Ngakoue is traded yesterday to the Vikings. Ngakoue was way less of a surprise. Everyone knew he was on the way out. That was not happening, and it was not going well. That relationship was severed months ago. Mm-hmm. Fournette being cut. Fournette was drafted 4th overall in 2017, ahead of Patrick Mahomes, by the way. And he when healthy.
Come on, Bills.
That is a big asterisk. By the way, I was going to mention the Bills as a possible landing spot because even though I like Devin Singletary and I like Zach Moss,
he's a different back. Yeah, he's a different kind of back. Levan Fournette is a beast.
But the Bills, given the position that they are in right now, which is a win now team, that's a move that I would consider making. Now I don't know where they are on the waiver wire because I would imagine there's going to be a lot of other teams that will put claims in on him before it would even get to the Bills. But the Bills would be silly not to at least put the claim in. And again, I like Devin Singletary and I like I think Zach Moss may end up being a really good running back, but we're not there yet with either of those two guys. No. Leonard Fournette in that backfield.
He's what they want. He's what they want what he wants Moss to be.
And you could get him for almost nothing because even though I think he's an $8 million cap hit, I think the Jags are on the hook for half of that. So if you bring him in at $4 million, that's nothing. Dude, and he's 25, 6. He's in running back age. He's in his prime. And
Madden last year, the last year's Madden, that's who I traded for. I got him right away. I wanted my back to Devin Singletary, and I wanted Fournette being the lead guy. That's what I did. Won a Super Bowl.
I made a late trade for him in one of my leagues too, and he actually helped me get third place in my league. Now you might say, well, third place is nothing. Well, in our league, third place was $500. So it actually, it was actually a good move. But again, the big if with him is his health. He's got to be healthy.
And if you have a good running back in that field with Josh Allen there.
Yeah, no, I know.
He needs the time. He needs some time.
Yeah, and again, Fournette is a good dual threat running back. Again, it all comes down to injuries with him. If he can be clear of the injury bug, he's a massive threat.
But that's what the other guys there are there for.
And he's a little. I mean, look, there's a little bit of diva with him too.
Oh yeah.
That's part of the package. But what I thought was crazy was they. Sorry, the head coach's name there is slipping my mind for a moment. The Jags head coach, but he was very vocal about. They were like, we couldn't get anything for him. Not a 6th, not a 7th. We couldn't get anything for him. Which I was like, wow, this is like a really weird and like honestly very direct quote.
Yeah.
For a guy that when he played and was healthy, he served you well.
Sure.
But yeah, they were extremely direct on how they were not able to get a damn thing for him. How could you not get a 6th or a 7th for him?
Running backs, man. They're easily come by in the NFL, apparently.
They are. Well, they do. I mean,
they do, but they're not Leonard Fournette types. I mean,
no, Leonard Fournette was he was a player, man. He is a player.
As long as he stays healthy, right?
I will tell you right now, even with the Dolphins having Matt Breida and Jordan Howard, I 100% want them to put a claim in on him. 100%. Now, do I think the Dolphins will? No. I don't think so. I don't think that's a Brian Flores kind of move. Although he offers versatility, I don't think that's his kind of move though. I just don't think he will. I think they're happy with Howard and Breida and with Myles Gaskin. The Dolphins and Patrick Laird. The Dolphins have some depth at running back. I just don't see them doing it. But would I love for them to bring Fournette in? Oh my God.
Yeah. Huh. Sure.
I mean, there's probably 15 teams that would say, "No, we're good." We would, but I would say half the league. You could make an argument for bringing him in,
especially at that price.
I will put it to you this way: even the defending champion Chiefs, I could say, making a case. Now you might say, "Well, wait a minute, hold on. They've got Clyde Edwards-Helaire and they've got Kareem Hunt still, right?" Fournette, I would still consider him a guy who could actually go into that mix and compete for the starting job. I mean, I like Edwards-Helaire, and I think he's going to be an absolute animal, but he's also a rookie. And he's never carried the load for 16 games. Although I guess you could argue that Leonard Fournette hasn't carried the load for 16 games either. He's rarely healthy enough to play that many, but in theory, he could. And Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt's on the Browns.
Oh, is he on the Browns? I'm sorry. I thought he was on the Chiefs.
No, he used to be.
Remember you're right. I'm sorry. No, who am I? I'm sorry. There's another guy. There is another guy.
I know what you're talking about, though.
There is another guy. But But so okay, that
drawing a
actually
blank.
helped. That actually helps make my point even more. Then is that he would actually make sense
Yes.
on that team because he could actually help ease Edwards-Helaire in. Yeah. Now I know from a fantasy perspective, a lot of people don't want that because a lot of people want to draft Edwards-Helaire, and actually some people already have. So this is why I do not like doing drafts until like a week before the draft. I mean, a week before
because you need
opening kickoff, because man, this is the kind of stuff that happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah. But
all right, let's get into
Jags tanking, man.
I wanted to talk about this real quick because I just saw this popped up. Jeffrey Lurie, who slammed the United States over COVID. He's the owner of the Eagles.
Yeah.
Said we have to own the questions of leadership and the questions about policies. Lurie said on Sunday, there is a lot to be discussed here on that and in the future. It is heartbreaking. These are needless deaths. We should be similar to most countries on this planet, and yet we are an embarrassment, a tragic embarrassment. He went on to say, what if I told you yesterday that 5 Boeing 737s crashed in the United States and everybody died? Lurie asked. And that is every single day right now. It has been that way for many weeks. We are 4% of the world's population, 21% of the fatalities. There is a lot to figure out. Why is that the case? The fact of the matter is, it's feeling the pain of all those people in the United States and wondering why we are the wealthiest country in the world, but have 21% of the deaths. We have the ability to socially distance better than any other country and life-saving mechanisms more than any third world country.
Yep.
If you open your heart, you're not going to put your knee on someone's neck. And then he went on to just go on to everything with the countless attacks and everything. He just basically torched the leadership in this country. And I would say rightfully so. In my opinion, that's my opinion. And, we all have them. So
I would say 0 lies detected in any of what he said.
Yes.
It's all true.
Yeah. He is very passionate, and he's in a position to speak and have it be put out into the media like this and hopefully lay some punches. I can't wait to see what, there's got to be some Trump tweets about that, like how Lurie's a disgrace to the NFL or something like that, because, his team is terrible. He's took that team to the promise of Super Bowls and everything like that and won, and then completely got rid of their star quarterback, and he's going to say all this stupid stuff probably about it. So I don't know. And regardless, I like his view. I liked what he said. I think it's unfortunately factual, and I agree with it.
Nice. There's nothing more to say. He's spot on.
Yeah. Let's get into some sorts. Woo! We gotta spin that wheel too, because we gotta do some sorts stuff later on. Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Yeah.
Give us your quick review over Bill and Ted Facing the Music.
So this was actually, I haven't done this in a while, but this was actually an impulse buy. I bought it. I actually had like a $4 coupon.
How much was it?
It was $24.99 in 4K, but I had like a $4 coupon. By the way, Clevenger traded to the Padres, so there you go.
Wow, Padres are making moves, man.
Yeah, they are. They're completely going for it. Can't say that I blame them.
Machado's got to be happy.
Yeah, I would say he probably is. But the Padres are totally going for it. Let me see if no, there's not a deal is in place, but there's no. That's going to be your big one. I mean, that's going to be it. That's going to be your big trade for this deadline. It just happened.
Kinsler's drawing trade too, but he's more of a piece in the bullpen.
Yeah. So anyways, Bill and Ted Face the Music, a movie literally 30 years in the making.
When are they going to come out with Weekend at Bernie's?
I will tell you this though. Now, I was not as enthusiastic about this movie as Rotten Tomatoes and even most of audience score, as I think I mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. It's clocking in at 80% with critics and 81% with audience, so very consistent. I'm at a Cinebros score of 7 out of 10. So I'm 10 percentage points below
positive.
them.
That gives it a positive review. So
very positive.
You would be in the 81%.
It was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. Strangely enough, I kind of actually enjoyed the story a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of weird. I mean, but listen, they followed the tried and true formula of the first two Bill and Ted movies, and they went along that line. This one, obviously, I mean, if you've seen the previews, you know enough that at this point they're both married and have daughters. And so the focal point of the movie also is on them a little bit. And without getting into any spoilers here, they end up being a pretty integral part of the film. Listen, this was a fun movie. The one thing I will say, though, it didn't have, to my knowledge, any laugh out loud moments. It was an enjoyable movie. Yeah, it was a smile movie. Yeah. Not a laugh movie. I did not laugh really that much. I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. It brought back memories. And there were some characters new and old, you know. Mm-hmm. And a nice kind of little brief tribute to Rufus. So Rufus was such a big part of the first two movies. And I enjoyed it. I really liked it. I wouldn't go 8 out of 10. Like I said, I'd go 7. But listen, would I recommend buying it? Nah, you don't need to buy it, but you can rent it. It's a good $4.99, $5.99 rental. And I think you'll get something out of it. If you enjoyed those first two movies, you'll like this one too. There's nothing in this that would turn you off and say, well, this just was not in the spirit of Bill and Ted. And but you know what's funny? Like looking back on the first two movies, I don't really remember those as laugh out loud kind of movies either.
No, they were kind of smile movies. They kind of make you feel happy.
Yeah.
Oh, look, that's cute. That's cool.
I think the thing that I loved about this movie is or the thing I guess I liked the most about it was it just kind of went to show you sort of the importance that music plays in our lives and how much music does bring joy to us.
Oh yeah.
You know, and man, especially at times like this when we could really use joy in any form.
Seriously.
It's just been such a Debbie Downer of a year. But yeah, so 7 out of 10. If you have the means, yeah, go ahead, rent it. It's a good rental.
Cool.
It was an impulse buy for me, 100%. Like I said, I had this $4 coupon from Fandango, and I was like, all right, what the fuck, I'll buy it. I did. Yeah, will I ever watch it again? Nope, probably not. But
why are my abs so sore? What did I do?
But, you know. Anyway, so.
What did I do, Brian? My abs are sore. Did I do an ab workout? I did not.
I don't know. Did you?
I don't know. I didn't do an ab workout. I haven't done an ab workout in a while.
But
you can tell.
But anyways, Bill and Ted Face the Music. Go get it.
All right, so
give it a try.
I just like this comment from Casey Stern. The Padres front office swings 3-0, swings hard.
They do.
That's what they're doing right now.
I love what they're doing though, man.
Yeah.
Listen, this is an anything goes year, right?
Yeah.
Why not go for it? Also, Clevenger, that's a nice piece to have going forward.
And they got Rosenthal too, who's been pitching well as well. So I mean, this is gonna be they're going for it for sure. I want to see what they gave up for it though. That's what.
I mean, they said it
didn't
was
say anything.
They said it was going to be costly. I'm assuming it will. So we'll see what happens.
I'm wondering if they had to give up any of those pieces they already got. I don't know. That'll be interesting. All right.
Yes.
So let's get into. Oh, we can get into the Karen of the week. Did I get rid of my? Did I do that? I'm such a bonehead.
What'd you do?
I got rid of my Twitter. I was like looking at Twitter and I just closed it out. It was stupid. I was being
you can. Well,
I got it because I got to get to you. I got to see what's up here. You tagged me on something, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Replies,
I tagged you for the Karen.
Media. No, that's not there. Did you tag Einhorst Finkel?
Yes.
Where is it? Where is it?
Did I not?
I thought you did. I don't see it though. Hold on. Let me look at my. There. Oh, there it is. Here we are. All right. Yeah.
Away from us.
Hold on. Right here we go.
Please stay 6 feet away from us.
I don't need
We're
you to
in the
come
middle
close
of
to
a
me.
pandemic,
I don't
sir.
need you to come close to me.
How many
Oh, that's good. Mike, come closer. Hi.
Please stop. You are literally endangering our welfare.
Oh my God.
You are a vile human being and you're wearing a mask incorrectly.
Yeah, Gina.
What the?
Please
What?
stay 6
That was a quickie, but a goodie. Yeah, Karen.
Just go start blowing in their face.
Yeah. Also, though, the best part of that clip is clearly I don't know if it's her husband or whatever, the Karen's husband, Ken or
He
whatever.
looks like he's wearing those glasses that come down.
First of all, he looks like he's got the Van Halen T-shirt on, and he looks like a poor man Sammy Hagar.
He does.
Like a really poor man Sammy Hagar.
Yeah.
With not the hair's not as curly. I mean, it's more like his hair is like a little bit more wavy, whereas Sammy had those kind of tight curls.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that guy thought he was Sammy, and his wife was definitely a fat, ugly groupie.
Love Panama. It's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Is Panama Sammy? Is that a
No.
Van Hagar though? No,
No,
that's
no,
David
no.
Lee Roth,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's when it was good.
I actually, I see. You know what though?
He was a showman.
I hate to admit it.
He's a showman.
I really do hate to admit it, but I will tell you that
He's not David Lee Roth, though.
I'm pretty sure my two favorite Van Halen songs, I think they're both Van Hagar. One is Why Can't This Be Love,
Mm-hmm.
which I love.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the other one there? Right here, right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are. I think they're both.
know.
Yeah, I love those songs. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still
Is it?
think like. I think so. I think those are both Van Hagar. I know. Why Can't This Be Love? Is, but I don't know about. Yeah, the right here, right now, whatever it is. Is it? Yeah.
Oh, wait. What's that? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Hey, that makes sense. All right.
But I still recognize. Well, in my opinion, I still think David Lee Roth was the better lead man. But as far as favorite Van Halen song, I mean, I'm not a huge Van Halen fan, but those were my two favorite Van Halen songs. But yeah. So another Karen comes and goes. She's not the first. She will not be the last. I will tell you, man. Then there was another Karen, but she was so vile. I was just like, nah, I can't. She dropped the N-word.
Yeah.
In the video, she doesn't drop it, but the woman accusing her says it. It's like, you said the N-word. You said it this time. You said and I was like, I can't. I don't want. First of all, I hate that word, and I just don't want to play it. I don't want us playing that.
Right.
So, I'd rather me just say, cock, shit, balls, fucking earmuffs and all that stuff, but I don't want to say the N-word. So, and I don't want it played on our airwaves.
Yeah. I think it's happened before, but I think it might have been bleeped out. I can't remember.
Well, I'm sure it was in the context
right
of
now,
something
yeah,
like that.
Dreams was also his. Right Now was that was there. Why Can't This Be Love?
I love Why Can't This Be Love. I think that's a great song. Tell me why can't this be love?
It is a good song.
Got to know why. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Sammy.
He's fine. It's not real Van Halen.
No. And he's kind of douchey looking, but
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So what else
Cabo
do we have?
Good tequila though.
What else do we have? We've covered most of our topics, right?
Sure. I think we got them all. Carrying the week.
Except for what? NBA playoffs?
Oh, we didn't touch on that, did we?
I don't know what there is to say.
There's not much to say yet.
I mean, let's see. The Clippers moved on. They beat Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And despite Luka Doncic going completely nuts in that series, averaging 30-something points per game. I will tell you about the Dallas Mavericks, which I'm sure for you as a Rockets fan and for me as a Spurs fan, it's not very encouraging, is that I would say Dallas is one player away from being really good.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Doncic is a beast.
Sucks.
Yeah.
The
Rockets are on their last legs. I mean, they have a couple years left with the team that they have.
How are they doing right now? They're
up 3-2. Yeah, they play tonight at 9.
With a chance to go to the Western Conference semifinals.
Right. And
because that's where the Clippers are already headed.
Yeah.
For a show.
And Lakers won 4-1, as expected. The Celtics took a 1-0 lead against the Raptors.
The Celtics they're gonna be in the finals. I know it, and I'm gonna be rooting for either like the Lakers or the Clippers again to beat them. I know it.
You think the Bucks are gonna? You don't think the Bucks will beat them?
No, I don't. I was scared. I was scared that the Celtics were gonna be good the second Kemba signed there.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the Bucks are just destined right now.
I hope they are.
They have a couple of years.
I would love to see the Bucks win. You know what's weird?
I wouldn't be surprised if like Giannis does something like Shaquille did, like gets his team there, but can't get over the hump, and then has to move on to another team. Yeah,
he's got to do the team up thing.
Yeah.
You know what's weird about this year is that, I mean, it seems like, oddly enough, it seems like forever that Kobe Bryant passed away. But there is a part of me that I have to admit wants the Lakers to win.
Oh, yeah.
But, but then there's the weird part of it, too, is the, like, some of the emotion, I think, is taken from that because there's no fans. Now, I'm not saying it still wouldn't be great. It'd still be pretty cool. I don't like the Lakers. As a Spurs fan, I'm just not a Laker. I don't like the Lakers. I mean, if I had to pick
I like LeBron, so I'm all for it.
Of all these teams remaining, I mean, yes, I would absolutely love to see the Bucks win. And I have no problem with Kawhi continuing to win, even though as a Spurs fan, I miss him dearly. But I have no problem with him winning more championships. And then imagine if Kawhi did win again. First of all, that'd be back-to-back titles for him. He would have won 3 championships
with
3 different teams and probably 3 finals MVPs.
Yeah. It's a good chance.
Wild.
Yeah.
That would be wild.
Seriously. He's a good player. Great player.
I mean, you want to talk about greatness. Well, you and I think have always, I don't even know that we've argued. I think we've both been on the same page that Kawhi behind LeBron is the second best overall player in the league.
Yes. With offense and defense.
With offense and
defense.
He's
clutch. Right? Yeah.
And super clutch. Oh my God. Great player. I mean, look, he could never win another championship now, and his legacy is cemented because he went to Toronto and did the one thing he was brought there to do.
By the end of his career, he's gonna be a top 50 player of all time.
Oh yeah. That's why it hurts so much as a Spurs fan to see it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at least I can say this as a Spurs fan, we got one out of him, thank God. But man, oh man, what could have been if he had stayed in San Antonio?
Yeah. I don't know. All right, so we have, and then we have the Nuggets who are playing. They have one more game. The series is tied, and then of course,
was it there? Murray scored 50 points 2 games in a row for Denver.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, that's impressive.
I was watching yesterday.
I haven't followed the series at all. I've been watching a little bit of the Rockets Thunder, so I'm on the fence here because I would be just as happy with the Lakers winning as I would be the Rockets winning because one, Kobe Bryant's death, LeBron, my favorite player. And then the Rockets, I cannot stand Russell Westbrook. And he's on my team. So that's where it kind of hurts.
It's tough to root for guys like that.
It kind of hurts. So it's I would be happy that they won, but I just don't see them winning either. I don't think they have the team to do it. The defense just isn't there. And I think that if they play a Lakers team, they're going to find out that that's what they're missing.
Well, who's the other? Okay, so right now it's Lakers, Clippers, Houston's probably going to be in, and then what? Either Utah or Denver would be the 4th team in the West, right?
Yes.
So I don't know who's going to play whom in those series, but I want to see Lakers, Clippers.
Yeah, Heat and Bucks are playing today, their first game.
If your Final Four was Bucks, Celtics, Lakers, Clippers, that's a badass Final Four.
Yeah, or even if it's Lakers Rockets. I mean,
you're
going to get a lot of points scored.
At least with the Rockets, there's some intrigue too about them trying to finally get over the hump. So,
yeah, and they've had some battles with teams.
Yep.
Late in the year.
Yeah.
Which is usually not good for them, but they've had some battles. Usually with the Warriors.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone well. But yeah, I'm
remember that. Remember the Golden State Warriors.
Man, but poor team, man. Talk about riddled with injuries.
Yes.
And then losing Durant. Oh my God, that team, the Nets are going to be so nasty next year.
Yeah, they'll be good.
Durant and Kyrie.
Yeah, they'll be good.
They're going to be good. That's going to be a tough team to play.
All
right. So that's pretty much it for our show today. We hope you enjoyed watching or listening, however you took this in. Clint, thanks for coming back. We missed you, man. We haven't seen you in a while. He was all fired up about the Celtics. He says the Bucks should beat the Celtics.
I agree they should, but I just have a bad feeling.
And he was also excited about talk about the Bills today, and we talked about the Bills a little bit. Hopefully they'll get Leonard Fournette. That would be a great little fit. It's doubtful.
I think there's just too many teams inside. I think there's just too many teams in front of them that would go for it. You know?
Yeah, and they should. I mean, but I don't know. Maybe they don't want to take that ego into that clubhouse. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That would be so huge for the Bills. All right, so if you follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Shane and the Bryman. That's where we post whenever we're posting our show, when we're going to be going live, and all that kind of stuff. Usually, if we're going to be doing it later in the week, or if we're going to cancel for that day, we let you know there. And we post the show when we go live, usually right around or a little bit after if we start the show. And then on top of that, follow us on Twitter at @EinhornDesfinkel. That's me. You can find the show at Shane and Bryman, not Shane and the Bryman, Shane and Bryman. Or you can just type in Sports and Sorts. We'll probably pop up. And then you can find us on Twitter, on YouTube. Go to YouTube and just type in Sports and Sorts. And then click enter. And then click our icon. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that. Smash it. Obliterate it. Destroy it. The subscribe button. Get us to the 69th subscription. I think maybe I'll start trying.
We were there at one point.
Maybe I'll start trying to push that a little bit more.
Yeah, we were
subscribe.
at 69.
Help us get to. Let's see if we can get to 100 by the end of the year.
We lost somebody.
Well, yeah. Well, we rub people the wrong way sometimes. That's fine.
No, they just think we suck, which is fine.
That's rubbing somebody the wrong way.
We do this for ourselves.
It's true, but let's see if we can get to 100 by the end of the year.
Sure.
Share it on social media every once in a while. Subscribe, like, comment. We put everybody that posts, we put it up on the screen.
Well,
even if it's hate for us.
I mean, today I think we had a max of 6 people, which was pretty cool.
It was, yeah. Maybe we can get to double digits by the end of the year. I don't know.
It was only Clint that commented today.
Before we leave, let's do this real quick. Sorts.
Oh, you're gonna spin the wheel.
Spin that wheel. Let's see what we got here. I don't even know what we have in here. All right, so we don't even have an advocate's argument. What?
Yeah, we had the advocate's argument.
But we don't have another one in there. We have to come up with one. So we'll do that another time. Let's see what we got. Woo! Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Ooh. Mount Rushmore of professional sports. I don't even know what that means.
Which is I think we've done that before.
I think we're supposed to do Mount Rushmore of professional sports athletes. Maybe it didn't fit it. Let's do. What else do we have?
I mean, we've literally done the Mount Rushmore of all sports. I know we've done that. Like where it's like one head for each sport of the four.
How about this? Let's do the Mount Rushmore because we have another one in there. And since that one's too vague, I don't know why it's even in there. Mount Rushmore of NBA players to never win a championship.
Oh, wow. That might be pretty easy, but okay. Okay. I've got a couple right off the top of my head that I'm thinking that are in there.
And that'll be good because we'll be in the semifinals.
One of them's name we definitely mentioned earlier. Patrick Ewing. It's got to be a consideration.
Oh, yeah.
Charles Barkley comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Did Oscar Robertson win one? I don't remember.
I don't know. Karl Malone.
Yeah, Malone, Stockton. There's a lot to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
Lot. That's a good one, though.
Mm-hmm.
There may be more candidates there than we think.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have the same.
Barkley and Ewing really stick out to me right now, without overthinking it.
Mm-hmm. Mount Rushmore of NBA players to not win.
That's a good one for NFL too, because unfortunately, my man Dan Marino is he's George Washington.
That's he's George Washington. That's easy though.
Sucks. It really fucking sucks.
He got there once.
He did. And he never got back, and he thought he would. You can find me on Twitter at @the_Bry_man, by the way. And also, we have come to the end of our program, and in the words of the great immortal Tony Stark, part of the journey is the end. So this particular journey has ended, but it'll pick up again next week on Monday. We'll do this show for you one more time.
Yeah. Maybe, but if enough stuff comes out, we might do another show in the week.
It's possible.
We're supposed to do Mondays and Fridays, but we just haven't had the same sports years that we usually have. So we've been doing a little bit longer shows on Monday and, kind of having that drag out through the week. So,
Yeah.
maybe I'll start doing some clips too, like cutting up some stuff and throwing it out there on YouTube, making some shorter clips out there for people to take a look at and all that kind of stuff, because that's fun too. And then, so Clint put out there, he did professional sports. He said, NFL, MLB, NBA, hockey. I would do MLB, NBA, NFL, hockey. But if I was going to do, actually, I'd probably put PGA in there over hockey, because I think that is better.
Oh, are we talking about just like the order?
Yeah.
If it was just...
Yeah.
For me, it would be MLB, NFL, NBA, hockey.
Yeah. MLB is definitely my favorite.
Yeah,
but PGA is probably my second favorite.
Oh, you'd actually even put PGA in?
I consider it. I would.
The Mount Rushmore of all professional sports, if you're just going by the four majors, is a very boring topic.
You could do WWE in there.
If
you could have some serious arguments about that, though.
I think the better, maybe the more fun Mount Rushmore would be, I would love to do like a Mount Rushmore of actors and actresses. I would love to do that.
Actors and actresses together?
No, separate ones.
How about together?
Well,
greatest actors of all time. That's actors and actresses. That makes it more difficult.
It does.
I'll put it in the
I like that.
Actors. All right, it's Mount Rushmore, right? Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
If you guys have anything that you guys want us to do, put on here, a Mount Rushmore, or any other kind of questions that you want us to put on here for the Wheel of Sorts, let us know.
I know who my George Washington is for that list. And the George Washington would actually be a she.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty easy, actually, on that one. That one pops into my head very, very, very quickly.
Emily Blunt.
She's got a lot. No, she's got a lot of. No. This one's got a lot of hardware. She's.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Kind of the goat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah. She'd probably be on my Mount Rushmore.
She'd kind of have to be. It sort of would be a weird.
She doesn't have to be.
Oh, she doesn't have to be, but it'd be sort of weird without her.
Like, I know two guys right now off the top of my head that would be on my Mount Rushmore. Females, there's probably one right now that I can think of off the top of my head that I might put on there.
The one I can think of is the
young.
one who I would probably insert as George. And then, what'd you say?
I said the female that I'm thinking of is a little bit younger.
Okay.
But
oh man, if it's Jennifer Williams, I'm bailing.
Who's Jennifer Williams?
What's her? Oh, Jennifer Lawrence. Sorry.
Oh,
is it Jennifer Williams? Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer,
yeah. If it's her, I'm bailing.
I'm bailing
on you.
You're bailing on me?
I'm quitting on you. I'm quitting you. If you bring J-Law into this, it's
what's the matter with J-Law?
If you want to do J-Lo,
what's the matter with J-Law? I want to know.
You know how I feel about her.
You don't like her?
I've never liked her.
Why not?
This goes back to that whole thing about her not having that it factor, and I've just never been a big Jennifer Lawrence fan. I admit that she's a great actress. I just am not a fan.
Oh, she's a very talented actress.
Yeah. She's pretty.
Yeah. But she's pretty in a way that's like, she's like relatable almost. Like, which is good.
She's not attainable.
Well, not for us.
Just like Emily Blunt. As much as I love her, she's not attainable.
Well, she's got John Krasinski. She ain't.
I know exactly, and he's awesome.
He's a handsome man.
He's flawless.
Somebody give us a thumbs down.
We got a thumbs down.
That's awesome. Yeah. We started talking about actresses and J-Law, and we got a thumbs down immediately.
Good.
That's awesome.
I hope they agree with the fact that maybe they're with me. Either they think my opinion on her sucks, or they're with us. Like, yes, we do not like her.
We did the MLB trade deadline at the beginning of the show.
No, I think he's asking when. I think it's today.
Oh, it's today. It's like in a few hours.
Probably 4:00.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 4:00.
And we talked about it earlier in the show, if you're looking for that.
Yeah, it's there.
So we talked about that. And there was actually an important one. Clevenger got traded.
We did break the news that Clevenger, and that was the one I said was probably going to be the big one if it happened, and it did. Okay, so So here's some more details. The Athletics' Ken Rosenthal reports that the final deal will send Clevenger, outfielder Greg Allen, and a player to be named later to the Padres in exchange for Josh Naylor, Cal Quantrill, Gabriel Arias, catcher Austin Hedges, minor league left-hander Joey Cantillo, and minor league infielder Owen Miller.
I don't recognize a lot of those names.
And it says the likely player to be named later is minor league reliever Matt Waldron.
I know Quantrill, but I don't know the rest of them.
Naylor, I know I've heard of Naylor.
Oh, yeah, because you barely know her.
Josh Naylor. I don't know. Anyways, off the top of my head, I wish Damien were here because he would definitely probably be able to give us a little bit more on Naylor.
Yeah, he's definitely in those minors. He likes those minor leaguers.
Yeah, but I would still say
he's not into those minors. He's into minor leaguers.
Oh my God. Easy.
He enjoys the young players in the MLB.
Okay, still a little. All right. He keeps an eye on minor league baseball players. Nope, that's not it. Jesus Christ.
Minor league baseball is his candy shop. Nope.
Damien really enjoys the minors. No, that's not it.
Nope. No.
Damien has a certain affection for minor leaguers. No, that is not it either.
That's not it.
Oh dear. You got another one?
Damien really knows all the ins and outs of all the minor leaguers. No.
Nope.
Damn it.
Wow.
All right. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again Monday, maybe Friday. Thanks for the thumbs ups. Thanks for the thumbs down. I hope you enjoyed watching. No matter what, if you want to do it, you can go back through the show. I'll try and clip these out a little bit. Maybe do some little clips here and there. We talked a little Robinson Cano Hall of Fame. That just popped up out of nowhere. And then we also got into the NBA, everything that's in the title, plus a little bit more. Bill and Ted Face the Music, Brian Game for a quick review.
Damien got into some minor leaguers.
No,
he didn't though.
No.
Poor Damien. He's not even watching.
Damien dug into the minor leagues. No.
Oof, dug in. That's a dirty little phrase. No. That's a dirty phrase right there.
That's bad.
It's not good.
Thank you. We'll see you again soon. Bye. Bye.
See you later, people.
Did you do the beginning of the end?
What's that? Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
I got that.
Then I'll end.